It's complex because he is a kid and he has to learn the hard way that as a high profile recruit, his life is under constant microscope.
Constant, for sure.
On the flip side of that, he also has to know that he can't say stuff like that just freely.
That is that word is revered so much of a taking a negative and turning it into a positive. That's
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and that's how it's AVE. That's how we talk to our people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's like we will, our people will never stop saying that word.
So, in a now deleted social media post, former University of Florida quarterback commit Marcus Stokes is seen on camera screaming, "Welcome back." I mean, I can say
You
it,
can say
but
it.
I'm not gonna say it while in the car. Since the post, the University of Florida has revoked his scholarship, and then following the the
Revocation.
revocation. Thank you. That's that American.
That's that code switching.
can't get a proper pronunciation out. But since the revocation of his scholarship, Stokes has followed with issuing an apology on his Twitter. So, Sticks, what's your thought on this situation with Marcus Stokes and his use of the N word?
To be honest, bro, there is of course I'm offended by it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That, a white guy said the N word, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, bro, I truly believe that there's a lot of people who are not black. It doesn't have to be just white. It could be any other race. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people who are not black who in their personal lives or behind closed doors say this word. He
Yeah.
just so happened to be dumb enough to post it on Instagram, post it on Twitter. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And was it dumb? Hell yeah. You dumb motherfucker, you said the N-word on camera. Yes, you
Mm-hmm.
deserve to have your scholarship revoked. But that just further shows that when he's behind closed doors with his other white friends and they rapping this same song, he gonna say the N-word. There's plenty of people. I've actually gotten confirmation from some of my white friends that they would never say it in public. They would never say it to me. They would never say it to any other black person. They would never say it. But when they rapping music, they going along with the song. They know the words
Mm-hmm.
coming up. There are a couple of my other white friends that change the word to brother or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
they say it all the time. I know they do. Some of them probably
Right.
say hard R. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's one of those things where it's like, going back to the last segment, our culture is so revered across the country that every race around the sun low key want to be like us. I'll just be
Mm-hmm.
honest. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like,
They
it's a
like
lot.
the culture.
I
They
like
like
the
the
culture.
culture, not the
I like the
idea
culture.
of being black, though.
Exactly. I was literally just about to say that. They
Yeah,
love
yeah,
the things that we do and how exciting that our culture is and the things that revolve around the culture. But the idea of actually being within the culture itself is not what that's not what they want. But it, he should have thought this out, bro. He should have thought this out.
So,
He just shouldn't have done it.
so
Number one, he shouldn't have done it,
yeah,
but
yeah, 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 yeah,
definitely shouldn't
yeah,
have done it on camera. What you think?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's unfortunate, and I think it is complex. And you know me and complexities,
Complexity, yeah, for sure.
because I looked
Get
at
into it, my
both
boy.
sides, right? And so it's unfortunate because you hate to see a young man with his talent lose the ability to go to the next level and play college football. And just at the moment, he seems to have ruined his future opportunity to go to
The
play
next
college
level, yeah.
football. Right. At the moment, I'm sure somewhere down the road he'll get another chance.
Hmm.
It's complex because he is a kid
Hmm.
and he has to learn the hard way that as a high profile recruit, his life is under constant microscope.
Constant, for sure.
On the flip side of that, he also has to know that he can't say stuff like that just freely and
Free
then publish it, uh, you know,
for
publish it
millions of
on
people to see.
on his social media. I can't tell if if it was a lapse in judgment or if he was just arrogant. Because when certain kids get to the position that
Mhm.
he is in or was in, they get they get a confidence, but the confidence creeps slightly over to arrogance. I
Mhm.
can't tell if it was arrogance because I don't know much about this kid.
Me either.
But the little bit that I did see in that post that we're talking about now, and then also some of his social media, he does kind of. I don't want to say he is. He does kind of seem a bit arrogant.
Mhm.
But this what he did ultimately was he took that scene from White Chicks where they're in the car and they changed it from Vanessa Carlton's 100 Miles and they
Mhm.
changed it to 50 Cent's realest N word, and they were like, nobody's around, you can say it. He took it and did that, but then his dumbass put it on the internet.
Mhm.
It's like I
Just
it's
going back to your question though, I think it's a little bit of both though. I think it's a little bit of arrogance, and I think it's a lapse in judgment. I think it's
oh, it's
both.
definitely a lapse in judgment,
Yeah,
but
I think it's a
I
little bit of both.
being the yeah, being the fact that I don't know him, I don't know much about him. I'm just saying is arrogant. I'm asking, is it arrogance because he was like, well, I can say it because of who I am,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna put it out. I don't know. I can't say that factually.
But you know what's crazy is I'm now that I'm thinking about it, and you brought up that scene from White Chicks, this has probably happened to him before. That actual scene has probably happened to him before. Somebody on his team, a black dude on his team, probably was like, "Hey man, shit, you can say it around me. I don't care."
And so that's what I was gonna say too, because when I know I have played with a bunch of players from Nice. Now Nice is in
Got you.
St. Johns County, which is right outside of Jacksonville, which we all know is Duval County.
Mm-hmm.
And Duval is a pretty, I mean,
It's a predominantly, yeah.
it's a pretty rough
It's
area.
a definitely
Yeah,
rough. I know. I
yeah,
one of my old managers from Duval County.
yeah. It's a pretty rough area. So
That dude's that dude's fucking confused. Was like this boy.
yeah, you know what I mean. So he probably has grown up. Or we know in the last segment we talked about, you are a product of your
Of your
environment.
environment for
He
sure.
he looks like his parents look like they're, you know, hardworking parents, but he probably grows up, suburban kid wanting to be a part of that, get a part
Culture.
of that hip hop culture. And he probably grew up that way. And so him singing the song is like, yeah, man, this is my culture. This is who I am. I can
Mhm.
say this because I'm singing the song. I don't mean any harm by it. I'm not trying to, call somebody the N word specifically. I'm just saying what the song said.
Right.
And I mean, it's going to hurt me to say this, and I can't believe I'm actually about to say this, but if we're going to be butthurt about people outside of the black community reciting words from or reciting lyrics from songs and saying the N word, then maybe we shouldn't say it in the songs.
And you know what's crazy? I tend to agree with you. But the only issue is that our community won't agree with us. Our community won't agree with us in that sentiment because that is that word is revered so much of a taking a negative and turning it into a positive. That's
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and that's how it's AVE. That's how we talk to our people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's like we will our people will never stop saying that word. That word, I
Right.
don't think that word will ever be taken out of our vernacular. Period. But
100%.
this guy, Marcus Stokes, should have understood because of the race that he is.
Hmm.
He cannot say that. And again, this is one of those things that, like you said, it's a product of your environment. And I'm pretty sure his parents taught him not to say that word.
Right.
But
100%.
it's one of those
Maybe.
things. Yeah, true. But it's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like s- somebody gave him that kind of confidence and that kind of comfortability to say that word. And
100%.
especially if he's in Duval County, and especially if he's going to public school, which Nice is a public school, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken, right?
Yeah, it
I
is.
haven't played with anybody from Nice. I wasn't that big of a profile athlete like you
Oh,
were,
stop it.
but
Stop it.
but
Stop it.
but but if he's going to public school in Duval County, predominantly all of those schools in Duval are majority black schools. So
Not all
he
of them, but they, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, not all of them,
well,
but yeah,
true,
yeah, yeah,
true, 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 true.
yeah.
But well, public schools. I don't know about private schools. I think most of the public schools are predominantly majority black, right?
I don't know. I don't know the true dynamics
Got you.
of Duval County. I just know that it's some areas are
Are
really
really
rough.
rough for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. So I mean, it just gets back, like you said, the product of his environment, bro. He's around that culture so much that he feels free enough to indulge in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess then the question is, following what we know, is should we be concerned with overt racism increasing in our country?
Overt. Well, I guess you say overt racism with people saying the word and then blaming it on something else.
No, I mean like they just openly being racist.
Oh, I mean, it's going on now as it is. I mean,
Yeah, but I'm saying, is it, for a while there, it was all hidden. People may
mhm.
have been racist in private, but out in the public, they weren't.
But just
And
like
now it
Kanye
just seems
said,
to be
racism still alive. They just be concealing it.
the old Kanye said
Yeah, the
that.
old Kanye said
Um,
that.
I missed that Kanye.
Kanye said that. Ye didn't say
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah, yeah.
True.
No, but no, because I asked because it seemed to be escalating
Mhm.
as of lately, right?
Yeah.
So it used to be done in private. Now it's done openly, not by everybody, obviously, but
Mhm.
it's done openly. Is the next step that we're gonna see more rallies
True.
now? Are we going to see more windows broken with bricks and letters on it saying, I'm asking, is that going to increase? Because I feel like the reason Florida took the stance that they took is because a couple of weeks ago, a young lady by the name of Sophia Rosing was expelled from Kentucky for continuously saying the N word while physically assaulting a young black student while
I
she was
didn't hear that.
intoxicated. You didn't hear about
I
that?
think I
Okay,
did. I
yeah.
think I did actually. I think I heard it. I didn't. I don't think I
Y-
paid much attention to it. But I think I heard it. I think I heard about it. Yeah.
Right. So like I feel like Florida
Hmm.
in the aftermath of that situation took the stance that they took because of that situation, much like Nike took the stance that they took with Kyrie because of the aftermath of Kanye.
Hmm.
So are we seeing the increase in overt racism and this being one of the ways to kind of stop it in its tracks?
I believe so. I believe so. I think I can agree with you on that. I mean, well, I don't know if that's. I don't know. I don't know if you agree with me if that's the case. But I don't think. I think that as as a community, and I'm just speaking for the black community itself, we're
Mm,
so strong within our ways that I don't think we will allow a lot of the overt racism to happen because we speak out
right.
about everything. We
Hmm.
going we us as a community, we're gonna stop it in its tracks regardless. It ain't got to do nothing with
Right.
Florida, ain't got to do nothing with Alabama or what you say she Alabama, Arkansas. Which one you say? The girl, which
Kentucky.
Kentucky. There you go. It ain't got nothing to do with
Yeah.
Kentucky. Got nothing to do with Florida. And it got we're gonna stop it ourselves because we're
Hmm.
so openly against everything racist, especially when it
Right.
comes to us.
Right.
So, but in a sense of that though, I think it would. I think it does have a lot. I think the punishments are going to be more like this now, where something happens and then now, oh shit, if this happens with us, we got to take a bigger stance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is what Florida did with Mr. Stokes. So it's like I think that's going to happen more often than overt racism because if something racist happens somewhere else, everybody else is going to be aware of it because of social media. So
One hundred
now
percent.
now they have to take a stance like, oh shit, we don't want to be seen as racist. So now we got to take this bigger stance and take his scholarship away or fire
Hmm.
him or take his endorsement or, cancel him altogether. So it's like, I think that would happen before overt racism takes over.
I just so I have a soft spot in my heart for kids, um,
Me too.
and I know he's not necessarily a kid, being the fact that he's a senior in high school, but he's still a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the fact that he will probably lose a chance at playing football at a university, a high profile university
Mhm.
at that, because, and we don't know if he truly was singing a song or not. It was only a 2-second clip.
Facts. I saw that. Yeah.
Um, but because he was singing a song. I think if anything, Florida could have used this, or any college that's in this predicament could have used this as a learning experience for him. Like, okay, listen, we're gonna bring you in, but in order for you to do, be a part of this team, you have to perform X, Y, and Z. Kind of like I mean, shit,
Kyrie, kind of like what
just
they did with
what they did
Kyrie.
to Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Have a list of things that he has to complete in order for him to be a part of the team, and make sure that he receives a message like, okay, you cannot do stuff like this. Um, you just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody deserves a second chance. I don't know if he's done this before in the past. I don't know what his past is like, but I do feel like I do feel bad that he's probably going to miss that opportunity.
Yeah.
On the other side, though, he does have to understand, like, no, this is not going to fly,
There's a
man, because
consequence to your actions. Yeah.
there are consequences to your actions. But then it's like, if this is allowed to go on, where do you draw that line at? It says no, that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're saying, oh well, you can rap a song and post it, that's okay. Nobody gonna say anything about
Nah,
that.
fuck
But you
that.
can't be drunk and say the N word to a black student multiple times.
Like you beating our ass.
Where right, where does that line, where is that line at in between those two scenarios? That's like,
I think that line is drawn at the word itself. Like you have to be punished for that word, especially if you're not of that culture.
and so that's what I was getting at
But
is,
even black people don't say hard R. You know what I'm saying? Like that word would I don't hear any black people saying hard R. We say, you
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying? And I
yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like just that that word with those two forms should not be said by anybody of the Caucasian persuasion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you on that. I just think we have such a visceral
Mhm.
response to that word, um, that it clouds our judgment sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
that's
see
all.
that.
I'll keep it at that, and that'll be my final thought. Is we need to figure out where those lines are and stick to it, because it can't be, oh, he said it, he posted it, he loses his scholarship, and then 2 weeks, 2 years later, somebody does something similar that's not white, but he's like, Latin or something like that, and we let it slide.
True.
It has to be, the standard has to be set and has to be enforced across the board. If not, don't just let it go.
Just let
Period.
it go. Period. I agree. I agree. And the way he said it, he
He
said
said
it
it hard, bro.
hard, bro. Like
Not a hard but
he didn't
he
say
said it
hard
hard.
ER, but he said it like
Yeah, yeah,
aggressive, like welcome back.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was like,
Right,
damn, you said this
right.
before, ain't you?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
you
You've
done
been
said
here
this
before.
before. You done been here
Yeah,
before. So he was way too
yeah. You've been
comfortable.
here
But
before.
I think my final thought was, like I said, he had definitely been there before, but he just has to have a little bit more wherewithal within himself. Like, hey, this is not something I should be, number one, saying,
Hmm.
but number two, being comfortable enough to post it for millions of people to see, to put
Right.
myself in jeopardy of me getting the opportunity to play at the next level and then possibly further in my future. Because,
Hmm.
the Florida Gators is one of the top tier schools, especially if you're trying to make it to the NFL. So it's like now, if he goes to a junior college, now you done really messed it up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of junior
Hmm.
colleges don't get that exposure. Some people do go from junior college to go D1 or D2 and be able to still make it. I had a couple people on my team like that at Central.
Hmm.
But, you gotta, he just has to, he already apologized, but he got to make sure that the people going forward, these organizations and these schools know that, hey, that was a mistake. I would never do it again. So
All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my final thoughts on it. They say it all the time. I know they do. Some of them
All
probably
right.
say hard R.
If you
Okay.
just fessed up, if you just fess up to it and say, yeah, 65 years ago, the decisions I made, the feelings that I had, the thoughts that I was thinking weren't aligned with who I am today, I think the public would be able to stomach that. And I know people tired of hearing me say this every week, but it's the truth.
Yeah, they're listening to
But
Plies though. They're listening to
oh
Plies.
yeah, today's the last day. Today was
For
the
sure.
last day we ate it.